learning with them because besides the fact that it's good to keep the brain stimulated, especially during a time where a lot of us are still stuck at home. But also, I know a lot of my viewers speak Portuguese, and this is the perfect way for me to learn some basic sentences so I can interact with you all, and I think that's super special. Babbel is different to other apps in the fact that there are no ads. It's free of ads compared to most other apps that you're using on your phone, which is amazing. And it's also been proven by university studies that 15 hours of Babbel can equal a semester of college. So I feel like right now is the time to really dive into learning something new, and language is always a beautiful thing to learn. I haven't done too much on the app just yet because today's video is going to be me learning some beginner Portuguese with you all on the app, but from what I have used so far, it is clean, it is simple, and I know that I'm really going to get a lot of use out of this. So if you would like to join me in learning Portuguese or any other of the languages that are offered on Babbel, click the link down below for 50% off, 6 months, limited time only. So if you've been wanting to try a different language, this would be the perfect opportunity to dive right in. Thank you to Babbel, and let's get started. Hello, 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 my sound, soulmates. It is me, Slight Sounds. If you watched the intro, you know that today's ASMR video is me learning Portuguese, or at least the beginning stages of Portuguese, using Babbel, who is today's sponsor, and I'm really excited because over the past couple years, I have noticed that I have quite a few viewers and community members that speak Portuguese, and I know probably like 2 phrases or two words basically. I can say oi, tudo bem, which is hi, like, are you all good? How are you? How you doing? And I've been able to say that to people coming into my chat when I'm, doing live streams and stuff, but besides the very basic stuff, I have not been able to say much, and so I'm really excited that I get to grow my vocabulary and hopefully learn more things so I can interact with more of my viewers in their native language, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So I will be doing some word repetition, probably some air tracing, whispering, etc. So I hope this can be tingly. Maybe you can learn a few things as well. To give you context, I don't know a second language. I did Spanish in high school, I did Italian in college, and this is my first time attempting Portuguese, so let's get started. So I will mostly be doing Babbel on my phone, but for today's purposes, I'm using my phone to record my mic, so I need to use my iPad today. So I'm just opening the app and let's see what we got. Okay, so the first thing is hi, which I do know, which is oi. O-I. Oi. The next phrase is how's it going, or all good, which is tudo bem.
Tudo bem?
Sorry, bem. I forget that the E or excuse me.
Desculpa.
Desculpa. Desculpa. Sorry. Desculpa. And I also know this one, which is obrigado, which means thank you.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. I feel like the O is like not fully there. Obrigado. 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 Thank you. Oi, tudo bem? So now the next thing I have to do is it says choose the correct translation, and they'll give you the word, say the word, and then I have to pick which one is correct. So the first thing is oi, which is hello.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem? Tudo bem? Which is how's it going?
Obrigado.
Obrigado. Obrigado. Which is thank you.
Desculpa.
And finally we have the last word. Desculpa. Desculpa. D-E-S-C-U-L-P-A. Desculpa, which is sorry. Sorry. The next part is a listen and choose the correct answer. Lena, an exchange student, is dancing at Carnival in Rio and bumps into someone.
Desculpa.
Desculpa. And that means sorry, so we're going to
Lena.
add desculpa to the conversation. Lena, she recognizes her old friend Vitor.
Vitor. Oi.
Vitor, oi. Vitor, hi.
Oi. Tudo bem?
Oi, tudo bem? So basically, this layout where you kind of see a conversation unfold and you help fill in the blanks is something I'm noticing on this app, and I really enjoy it because it kind of helps get your brain used to hearing what a simple conversation would look like and sound like, which I think is super important to know. So the next part of this lesson is talking about obrigado versus obrigada. So, like a lot of languages, things are gendered. So you have to match the ending of a word to who you're talking to or what you're talking about, which doesn't happen in English, but in a lot of other languages like Italian and Spanish and Portuguese, you do. So they're basically telling you the difference between obrigado and obrigada. So if you identify as a man, you thank someone by saying obrigado with an O. Obrigado with an O. If you identify as a woman, you thank someone by saying obrigada. Obrigada. So O versus A.
Obrigada.
Obrigada. Obrigado. One thing that I'm noticing about trying to pronounce certain words in Portuguese is I have to situate my tongue and my throat a little differently than what I'm used to. In Italian, there's a couple of instances where it's harder to pronounce things. However, I notice in Portuguese I've been struggling a little more with like because it's a little more nasally and a little more like long. I don't know how else to explain it. So So it's asking me, what would this person say? A quote-unquote man from what we can see, but gendered language is a whole nother discussion we can talk about at some point. But it's interesting because obviously there are people that are gender non-conforming, non-binary, and aren't, a part of the gender binary, which is an interesting conversation happening right now with people that use languages that have gendered language. So anyway, I just wanted to put that disclaimer in there, but we would say obrigado.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. And this little girl would use obrigada.
Obrigada.
O B R I G A D A. Obrigada. Obrigada. And another woman, but instead of a child that is an older adult woman, we would still use obrigada.
Obrigada.
And an older man, obrigado.
Obrigado.
And now there's a little quiz at the end. It says match the items and check out what you've learned in the past few minutes. So we've only been doing this for what, like 15 minutes, and I've already learned the basics to how to greet someone, how to thank them, and all that good stuff. So it says oi, which is hello, exactly. So they give you options, they give you options of what that is. The way a man says thank you, an informal way of saying hi in Brazil, the way a woman says thank you, how to say you are sorry, or to ask how somebody is doing. But we know that it is hello, so we will choose an informal way of saying hello in Brazil.
Oi.
The next is tudo bem. Tudo bem. Tudo bem. Bem. I'm so used to having my vowels more long, but it's bem. Bem. It's a little tighter. Tudo bem. Tudo bem. So, what is that? How are you? How's it going? All good. So, to ask how somebody is doing,
Tudo bem?
obrigada is the next one, which is exactly how a woman says thank you.
Obrigada.
Obrigado is the way a man says thank you.
Obrigado.
And finally, we learned this in this little lesson, desculpa. Desculpa. Do you remember what that one is? That's right. How to say you are sorry.
Desculpa.
It says fantastico. I don't know how to say that. I don't know where the emphasis is, but it does say fantastico slight. Answered correctly, 23 out of 23. So we're doing well. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. So that was lesson 1 in the newcomer course. So if we were going to have a conversation, I would go up to you and say, oi, tudo bem? And you could respond with how you are. So you could also just reply back, tudo bem, all good. So I would just say, oi, tudo bem? And you'd say, tudo bem, right back. I could also say, excuse me, how are you? Or sorry, how are you? obviously in different contexts, but you would say disculpa, 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 desculpa, desculpa, tudo bem, tudo bem, tudo bem. Okay, let's start lesson 2, which is personal pronouns in the singular. Okay, so the first pronoun is I. The first pronoun is I.
Eu.
You. 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 And that is I. So the next pronoun is you singular. You singular, which is
Você.
você. Você. Você. You. V-O-C-E. I don't know what the thing over the E is, but it looks like a little partial triangle. I'm assuming I'll learn that at some point, but it is V-O-C-E with that over top. The next pronoun is he.
Ele.
Ele. Ele. Ele. And next is she.
Ela.
Ella. 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 I feel it in my throat. That is E-L-A.
Eu.
And again, we are doing this type of practice, which is they tell you or they give you the word and you have to translate it. So, you, which is I.
Ele.
Ele. Ele. I feel like I'm not saying that as properly as I wish I was. Ele. Which is, do you remember? He.
Você.
Você. Você. Você. Do you remember that one? Good. It's you.
Ela.
And finally, we have ela. Ela, which is she. So we have you, você, ele, and ela.
Eu.
You.
Você.
Você. V-O-C-E.
Ele.
Ele. Ele. E-L-E.
Ela.
Ela. E-L-A. So now that we've gone over the basic pronouns, we will be going over the formal forms of address. And it says, in Brazil, you normally use você to address people. When talking to older people, however, you often use seu. I'm assuming they're going to tell me how to pronounce that correctly, but it is S-E-U, seu, and dona.
Obrigado, Dona Lúcia e seu Martim.
Seu. Obrigado, Dona Lucia, e seu. S-E-U. Thank you, Mrs. Lucia and Mr. Martin. The next part is again formal forms of addressing people, but part 2. So
o seu Henrique? O senhor é o seu Henrique?
Senor.
O senhor é o seu Henrique?
Senor, 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 senor.
O senhor é o seu Henrique?
Oh, it's not Henrique, it's Henrique. Man, it's so interesting, like starting multiple languages and never like getting fluent in any of them, because in the back of my brain, Spanish and Italian, although I can't remember how to form like amazing sentences, how to pronounce words, and how just things go are still just like gently placed upon my brain. So this is definitely going to be a challenge for me. So senor, senor, and senora.
A senhora é bem-vinda.
Bem-vinda. A senhora
é bem-vinda.
A senhora é bem-vinda. Bem. I can't get that E yet, but it's coming. Okay.
Seu, dona.
Seu, dona. Seu is Mr. Dona is Mrs.
Você.
Você. Do you remember that? You singular, correct?
O senhor, a senhora. O senhor, a senhora.
O senhor, a senhora, which is you masculine formal and you feminine formal.
Ele, ela.
Ele, ela, ele, ella.
Ele, ela.
Ela. It's like back here. Ela. Ele, ela. That is he and she. So now we've done introductory phrases. Oi, tudo bem? Oi, tudo bem? Obrigado, obrigada. And we also now have some pronouns, so we know how to address people. So, eu, I, ele, e, ela, he and she. Alright, we're going to do one more lesson to round this off. I know we didn't learn a lot, but it obviously takes small baby steps to learn a language, and this is where we're at, this is where I'm at. So, I hope that you have enjoyed watching me learn some very basic Portuguese. I'm excited to continue this. I will most definitely be continuing to learn Portuguese outside of obviously just this video and this experience, but I wanted to share not only the app Babbel, but also just I wanted to share learning Portuguese with you, because I know how many of you have wanted me to be able to speak different languages, to say different things in different languages, and I think this is an amazing first step. So let's finish this next lesson and wrap up the video, okay?
Muito prazer.
Muito prazer. Muito prazer. It's a pleasure. How are you? Is that nice to meet you? How are you? It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Okay. Muito prazer. Muito. Muito prazer. Prazer. Muito prazer. It's a pleasure.
De nada.
seen it before. So this is by, which I think a lot of us know in other languages again. So this is by ciao, and it is TCHAU. Ciao. TCHAU. Ciao, which is bye. It says to sort the words together to spell out "it's a pleasure," which is, do you remember? Muito prazer, exactly.
Muito prazer.
Muito prazer. The next one is "you're welcome." Do you remember that one? De nada.
De nada.
De nada. D-E space N-A-D-A. De nada. And bye. Ciao.
Tchau.
Ciao. I love that. I love ciao. I wish that it was used in America more. I know people use it as like a fancy thing like ciao, but I actually love that. I love ciao. The next thing we're learning in this lesson is the definite article. So it says O is the definite article for masculine nouns and A is for feminine ones. So menino would be O, and menina, M-E-N-I-N-A, would be A, exactly. The boy and the girl, O menino, a menina.
O menino, a menina.
A menino, a menina. And it says definite articles are also used before first names, especially when introducing yourself or talking about another person, which is an important thing to note because we don't do that in English. So again, that says definite articles are also used before first names, especially when introducing yourself or talking about another person. So we have Jose and Maria. We would put O exactly in front of Jose and A in front of Maria. Exactly.
O José, a Maria.
Jose. O Jose. A Maria. And it's asking us to choose the correct article for Roberta, which is A.
A Roberta.
Roberta. Oh man. It's so interesting learning new languages because everything you previously knew from either your first language or something you learned later in a different language can be flipped upside down completely. So, duly noted. Menina, menina, the girl.
A menina.
Menina. Menino. O.
O menino.
And the man, would we use O or A for homem? O, exactly.
O homem.
Homem. Homem. For the woman, would we use O or A? A.
A mulher.
A mulher. The woman. The next part of this is plural definite articles. So instead of just O and A, you would use os and as. It's says that there are two definite articles for plural nouns, so things that have more than one, multiple things. Os for masculine nouns, and as for feminine ones. So for o menino, if we make that plural, we would have to put os.
O menino, os meninos.
Os meninos.
O menino, os meninos.
Os meninos. So it's the sh instead of s. It's not s, it's sh. 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 Okay. So menina, and it'd be ash meninas. Meninas. Oh, I know all of my Portuguese followers are like, they're like, you're doing it, but also you're pronouncing it just not quite right. I see you and I understand. So we would put as.
A menina, as meninas.
As meninas. So wait, why is os like that and as like that? It must be os sounds different than as. Interesting. So os and as. Okay. And now we will be doing the choose the correct article. So we have a picture of two boys. So we would have to pick the plural. Okay, and is it O? Is it A? Is it OS? Or is it AS for two boys, for multiple boys? Os.
Os meninos.
Os meninos. And what about two girls? O, A, OS, or AS? AS.
As meninas.
As meninas. What about two women eating broccoli? They're very excited to be eating broccoli. That would be AS. And what about the two men?
Os homens.
Os homens. Os homens. I actually love how that sounds. I love the sh it makes. I love that, how that sounds on that word. Okay.
Tchau.
Ciao. Ciao. Bye.
Muito prazer.
Muito prazer. Muito prazer. I love the word prazer. Muito prazer. Which is, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. Muito prazer. 25 out of 25. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for letting me start to learn a language on video. I think it's super special to be able to share this with you. Also, please let me know if you do decide to download Babbel and start learning a language, whether it's Portuguese or something else. I would love to know if you're already bilingual, if you would like to be bilingual, if you're trilingual, or if you just would like to at some point be multilingual. I'm so excited. Oi, tudo bem? 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 Obrigado, 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 obrigada. Oi, tudo bem? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a good night. And instead of good nights, we're gonna do some ciao, ciao, ciaos, okay? And with that being said,